Hey guys, it's Savannah. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is everyday farmhouse decor DIYs. You guys asked for it, so here it is. Without further ado, let's get crafting. Okay, so for this one, you are going to need one of these long Dollar Tree signs. It doesn't have to be this one. This is just the one that I had. So if you do have this one, I started by removing that heart and sanding that down because I want to use the front of this one. Usually when I work with these, I just use the back, but I wanted to use the front because it kind of has like that shiplap look. And then I started by giving it a coat of the Waverly chalk paint, the white Waverly chalk paint. And I think I ended up having to do 3 because I didn't want any of those words to come through. So it did take a couple of coats. While that was drying, I am taking this Dollar Tree mason jar and I end up using that chain. I coat it with gray first, but I absolutely hated it. So I go back and do something different to that in a second. Then once this part was dry, I'm just taking my distressing brush and I'm just going through and I'm just, again, heavy handing this with the distressing first and then going back over it with the brush that I used to do the white coat. And then I just so on and so forth until I get it how I liked it. I didn't want to do too much sanding. I usually like to sand my distressing down, but I didn't want any of those words to come through. So I did lightly sand it, but I would not recommend like going heavy. And I just sanded that down a little bit. Again, not too hard because you don't want those words to come through. Then I'm taking this Dollar Tree hanger. I found this like in the home section. This one just says bless this farmhouse, and I'm gluing it about a 1/2 inch down from the top. And then I found these at Dollar Tree. They had like a star, and then they had this one with a chain. And I'm kind of trying to make sure that my mason jar will hang, you know, as low as I want it to. Then I went back in and I just painted this white and I put it all together, distressed that a little bit. I put the chain on and then I hung it up and I stuck some florals in there. And you guys, this is my absolute favorite. I think this is my favorite Dollar Tree DIY I have done yet. Okay, for this next DIY, I found this candle holder at a thrift store for $2.98, and I absolutely loved it. It is so thick and it's heavy. So I just started out by taking some of this Waverly Moss color and giving it a good coat around everything. And there's really not much to this. I just wanted to make sure that I covered it as good as I could because I am going to go back and distress it, but I wanted this all to have an even coat. And I guess because this is like such a light but still a color, it definitely needed more than one coat. Then once that was dry, I'm taking my paintbrush and I'm taking some white Waverly chalk paint and I'm kind of just dry brushing over everything. And you want to do this before you sand it because you want it to kind of like all flow together. You don't want to sand it and have some pieces showing and then going back over with the white. At least that's how I do it. Again, you can do whatever works for you. But making sure that I go like harsher on the corners and where there's like beveled areas. So kind of just getting it to like a distressing that I like. And yeah. Then I am going to go in with my little finger sander and I am just sanding down the edges, the parts that are like raised, kind of getting some of that wood to show back through, and honestly just going wherever I think there needs to be some. There's really no rhyme or reason to this. And then once I got enough how I liked it, this is how it turned out. And I think this is so cute. I don't even know if I want to put a candle on it. I might just keep it like as a random piece for decoration. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Since we just did a thrift flip, don't forget that Shayna and I are teaming up for a new monthly challenge called Thrift Flip Thursday, the $10 and below challenge. This is going to be on the second Thursday of every month at 1 p.m. and it is also an open challenge, so anyone can participate. If this is something you're interested in, shoot Shayna or I a DM on Instagram, or if you don't have an Instagram, my email is always in the description box down below. Let's get back into crafting. So since some of you guys liked the last video I did with the Valentine's XO with this little box, I wanted to do something else that you could use every day for everyday decor. So I'm taking another one of these boxes, but this time I'm giving it a coat of Waverly white Waverly chalk paint. And then I'm making sure I'm doing the sides as well. I didn't do this in the last video, but I wanted to do this one a little bit different and to match like your everyday decor. So again, you don't have to paint it. You can avoid this step, or you can paint it whatever color you want. Then once that was dry, I'm just taking my chippy brush and I'm just kind of going around the edges and getting the sides and distressing it as good as I like. I wanted it to, like on this, there's screws in this sign where it's holding that little front piece together. And I made sure that those were distressed a little bit more than, you know, versus like the box. And then I just go back over that with the same paintbrush that I used to paint this box until I got it kind of how I wanted it. Then I'm taking, you can see that scrapbook paper right there. I don't show me actually cutting it out, but I measure and then I cut out a little square and I slid that down into the little area where you can, you know, put something. And then I'm just going in with my little sander and I'm just dressing like the front, the sides, the corners, getting it kind of how I like, and making this look more like rustic and, I don't know, farmhouse. And then you can do whatever scrapbook paper you wanted in here. I just thought this one was so cute. And then I'm taking one of these little wood hearts and I stained it, or I probably already had it stained. And then I'm hot gluing that into the middle. This is super simple, but I also feel like it's really cute just to stick somewhere or just like extra decor. Okay, for this last DIY, I am taking one of these wood Dollar Tree signs, and this just happens to be a St. Patrick's Day. I'm trying to rip off the paper. I don't know why I always try to do this. So I'm sorry this part's out of frame, but all I'm doing is trying to rip off the paper like a crazy person. Then I sanded that down and I moved that off the table because there was glitter on this and I did not want to get glitter everywhere. Does anyone notice how like at the beginning of my videos, it's such a neat, clean space, and then towards the end of my videos, there's stuff everywhere? Oh my gosh, I am so messy when I craft, you guys. I have got to get more organized. Okay, so I just started out, I couldn't get all that paper off, so I sanded that as flat as I could, but that's going to be the bottom anyways. So I just started by giving this a coat, and this is going to need a couple. I'm using that moss Waverly color, and I just love this color. I think it's so pretty. Someone asked me in my last videos why I did everything in white or black, or so I tried to venture out just a little bit, just a little bit this time, and I love that color. Then I don't know where the footage went of this, but these are the black little pots of gold that Dollar Tree has right now, and all I did was glue 2 of them together, and I am now coating them with the white Waverly chalk paint, letting them dry, doing another coat, and switching back and forth between those 2 items as they dry. Once it was dry all around the sides and the front, I'm then going in the back, because the back is going to be at the top of our thing. That's going to be the thing that we're displaying. And once these were dry, I'm taking my chippy brush and then that same white Waverly chalk paint that I used to paint these, and I'm just distressing these. These also came with handles, so I did rip those off. Again, not sure where that went, but we're just going to go with it. So yeah, I'm just going through and distressing this, kind of going, you know, like in the middle and where it bevels out the most. Again, you guys know I always like to go heavy-handed with the distressing and then tone it down. And then I'm distressing the sign, and I'm just going on, you know, again, heavy-handed. Everything in this house is distressed, including the mother. Oh my gosh, I'm just kidding. Distressed. Yeah, I'm always stressed. Okay, so I just go heavy-handed with it, and then I go back over with the color that I use. And that's usually my technique with anything, unless wood. I like to sand down my distressing with wood. And then I am just going to hot glue this to the bottom of that, and then, you know, kind of hold it there for a second. But be careful, because obviously those things are plastic, and when you're pushing down, you don't want to push too hard, because I think they will melt. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. But just be careful. Then I'm just taking this paintbrush and kind of cleaning up the glue, and that is it. I think this is super cute and just a simple piece that you can style with anything. Put a candle in there, some farmhouse beads, and I love how this turned out. So for this DIY, I'm taking this wood little stand I got from Target, the little bullseye playground, and it was $3. And I just start right by removing the tag, because I don't feel like you should ever leave the tag on anything. And then I just start by taking white Waverly chalk paint and just giving this a good coat. I didn't have to do more than one, because this was a blank canvas, and I still wanted some of that wood to show through. Then I printed out this saying on my Cricut, and I'm not going to tell you guys what it's going to say. You have to wait till the end, because it's, I just saw this and I fell absolutely in love with it, because I couldn't relate even more. So I just printed it off. You guys, I'm still trying to learn how to weld things. So like, I wanted this to all be one piece, and like the saying, one on top, one on bottom, you know, like one after the other, so I didn't have to do them individually. But I couldn't figure that out. So this is what we're working with. Also, whoever told me to take my transfer tape and stick it on like my clothes or my t-shirt first, genius! Did you guys see how easy that came off? I am so learning. And I bought Cricut transfer tape just to try, but this ended up working fine. So next, I'm taking my next little part of this saying, and I'm doing the same thing, putting the transfer tape on it and sticking it to the sign. And again, it comes off wonderfully. I actually use the same piece of transfer tape that I used for the first one. And then same thing, I'm taking the next line and I am using my transfer tape and, you know, putting that on there. Again, if you guys have any tips on how to get, like, if I'm doing a saying and I want to like enter and then put something down below, I tried to weld all these and it just didn't work. I Googled it and it said you had to have shapes to weld stuff. I don't know if that's true. So again, that transfer tape trick worked amazing. So if you guys struggle with transfer tape, one of my subscribers said to like stick it to something like your t-shirt, and that worked wonderful for me. I'm just trying to line these up as good as I can, and then I do the next one. I did struggle, I wouldn't even say struggle, like there were a few little mistakes, but I just rubbed them down and it came off perfectly. So I am going to be doing that way more often. And then I just took these two little greenery twigs that I had in my little scrap area, and I am making a little swag. Now the placement of this, if you can see on the top, I struggled with this at first. I was trying to figure out how I wanted the greenery to lay, because I still wanted you to be able to see the words, because the words are the most important part of the sign. I'm going to put this by my front door, so when everyone walks in, they know what's up. So then I just glued the swag kind of to the top of the sign, and I had to play with it to get it how I wanted, and then I kind of glued the leaves down to make sure that they didn't cover it. And then I added these two little jute bows, and you guys, I love this. It's so simple, but I feel like it's so cute, and if you have kids, I'm sure that you can relate. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave a purple emoji down below and let me know which one is your favorite from today. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.